Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Normal is broke and common sense is weird. So we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network and the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Kamel, joined today by the Rachel Cruze, who is also a co-host of mine on another show we do called Smart Money Happy Hour, which you can check out on YouTube, podcast, Spotify, all the good places. Taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Jessica kicks us off in Idaho. What's going on, Jessica?
Hi. I'm real nervous about talking through with this, but it's real thankful it's you two. I enjoy your other show, Smart Money Happy Hour.
Thank you.
I'm feeling a little on the anxious side.
We got you.
Well, thank you. All right, I will just jump in here. So my husband and I are both 50. We have a combined gross income of $200K, net 161. We did not pay taxes in 2023. He owns his own business, an HVAC business, and with the accounting, we found out last October for 2024, which filed late, was $47,000 that we owed. Well, now because we didn't find out so super late, we now did not get to correct anything for 2025, and so we owe an additional $25,000 for 2025. We also have combined current consumer debt, which again I am not real proud of this by any stretch, but it's about $137K. So
what is that, Jessica? What does that consist of? The 137?
Oh, the good stuff. It consists of credit cards, some small, side, loans to try to, eventually refi, but then didn't necessarily refi. But then also we had after we purchased our house in 23, we had a really bad septic issue and had to replace that and our drain field, which cost us $50,000. All that.
And so you took a loan out for the whole 50?
We sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a stupid question on behalf of America?
Sure. Maybe not.
Well, for a couple that's making $13,400 a month in take-home pay, why were you turning to debt at every corner? Where was all that money going?
I think stupid. It was just all stupid. You're 100% right. We weren't making that at the time. That's just where we're at now.
This is newer income, so you guys have made more money over time and have probably spent it all, as most people do. As soon as they get a raise, they go, sweet, more money for us to make more bad decisions with.
Right. We jumped on that bad decision train, absolutely. And again, not proud of that by any stretch.
Well, that's normal, Jessica. You're not alone in this. And I think there's hope here. You have $137,000 in loans that cross consumer debts. You have another, let's call it $75K owed to the IRS.
So it's a little over $200,000 that you guys have, right?
Correct.
That's the total mess to clean up. And that doesn't include your mortgage. How much of that is your mortgage?
Yes, our mortgage is $4,150 a month. $4,150, yeah, $4,000. Anyway, that's a monthly. So our mortgage is not even included in that, and so our mortgage is $575 total.
Okay, that's what's left on that. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the good news is you guys have an incredible income. The bad news is you're going to.
We also don't have any retirement either at 50 years old.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
We'll make up for that later.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be working probably longer than you wanted to, but if you can keep making $200,000, this is a solvable problem.
Yeah.
I mean, on napkin math, you go, all right, $50,000 a year, we're done in 4 years.
Yeah, if you guys can find a way, and I just took what you bring home a month minus the mortgage. You should have around $11,000-ish left. And if you guys can throw $6,000 a month at this debt, Jessica, which means you live on nothing. I mean, you guys, your grocery budget's like $200 a week, if that. It is like we are doing nothing but paying this off. Yeah, and if you can,
that's under 3 years.
Yeah, if you can be intense for 3.5 years, you guys could get out of this. And that doesn't even include selling stuff, right? Or working extra or whatever that is. I mean, there's stuff in here that you can move. It's just going to be a couple of years of grinding it out.
I may or may not be wanting to cry right now because that makes me real excited because we're both on the same page. We both want to tap this. And
are you guys both working full time, Jessica? Are y'all both full time?
Yes, we.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
And kids? Do you have kids?
No, not
okay.
Well, we do, not in the home. No.
Okay. So that's honestly, that's great. And if you guys
less mouths to feed.
Yeah, and it takes a level of even a step of humility at 50 years old after 2 great careers to say, hey, we're going to go work nights. And you and your husband just handshake and say, all right, I'll see you at 9 p.m. tonight because we're going to leave at 5 our jobs. We're going to go work somewhere for 4 hours and we're going to come home. And that's going to be an extra $1,500, $2,000 a month that's added to this, that shortens it. You know what I mean? Like you start to see a path out. It's just going to be hard, Jessica. I mean, but I think you guys are at it. I mean, even as you're explaining coming onto the call, how you're feeling, like the emotions are just right there. They're right there, which actually is a good thing because you're actually feeling something and that's going to help in the motivation of it all. It really will.
Yeah.
What was going to be your next step if you hadn't called?
Well, I mean, obviously looking at the debt consolidations, just literally, I mean, we've already talked because we're like, all right, we got to get these baby steps started. So we've already got drawn out our spreadsheet, living that life. And then, calling debt consolidated, what can we do to, shorten this pain, that we both are anxious about, and neither of us like it. It's very weighty. And, we've got kids that are getting married and all the things. And so it's just, you feel real handicapped in your abilities to really be progressively moving forward and trying to even bless them with, helping to pay for all this. And so we don't like feeling this pressure either. And so it's to that point of just being super overwhelmed.
Well, I want to free you of feeling the obligation that you need to pay for everything or else you're a bad mom. I think you guys are incredible. The fact they're even struggling with this tells me how much you care about these kids and your family. And so here's the truth. You can't cover a wedding right now. You can't bless them with some outrageous gift. But the best thing you can do is clean up your own financial mess so that they don't have to take care of you later on in life. That's the true burden to worry about. And maybe later on down the road, you do get to bless them with an amazing gift 6 years from now.
Yes, that would be awesome.
So can we say we're doing this in 3 years, that you'll call us back and do a debt-free scream?
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
Well, here it is.
Yes, absolutely.
You spit shake with your husband. $6,000 a month is going toward this debt. The IRS debt comes first because they will screw up your life. Right. So let's make sure that we cover that, then attack all of the other debts, sell everything we can.
Do y'all have anything to sell, Jessica? Do you have like a four-wheeler, an extra car? I mean, I don't even know.
Some toys.
We do. No extra vehicle, but we do have a camp trailer that we've definitely. That's one of the things my husband has said. Let's try to get rid of it and sell it.
Yeah.
We even talked about selling the house. To be honest, not sure that there's maybe 120,
of equity in there.
50,
yeah.
Maybe in their equity.
That's like your last ditch effort. That's like we're on the verge of bankruptcy. We're going to have to sell the house. But I wouldn't do that. You guys have an amazing income and we are rooting for you.
After the holidays, a lot of people start feeling budget pressure, and it's a wake-up call to get intentional. So listen, don't fall for buy now, pay later cell phone plans that drag you back into debt. Boost Mobile keeps it simple with no contracts and no nonsense. Keep the phone you already own and pay just $25 a month forever for unlimited data, talk, and text. That's real long-term value and real peace of mind. So budget like you mean it and go to boostmobile.com/Ramsey today to make the switch. That's boostmobile.com/Ramsey.
Restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com/Ramsey for details.
Pat is in Philadelphia up next. Pat, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can Rachel and I help today?
Well, I'm 68 years old, and I have a $40,000 student loan debt for my daughter, and the only retirement amount I have is $37,000 in an IRA. I am still working, and I wanted to know if I should take that all my retirement savings and pay off this student loan and just be done with it. That's the only debt I have. I own my house, I own my car, no credit cards.
Oh, man. Is the loan in your name?
Yes.
Okay, so is it a Parent Plus loan?
Yeah, it's a Parent Plus.
Oh, boy. That's brutal.
Where's your daughter at in life, Pat?
No, she never finished. She's stay-at-home mom, so she doesn't really have the finances to help pay. I've asked her several times.
Does she understand your situation?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
Again, she doesn't have the money.
Yeah.
Well, she has two little ones, so she can't work right now.
And what about her? I mean, her husband's working, right?
On and off.
Oh, boy. Well, here's my fear, Pat. Let me play this out for you. You drain every penny of retirement to pay off these Parent Plus loans. Now you're left with nothing. Now we're down to Social Security and you working until you can't work anymore. That's it. That's the only future available to you at that point. Not that this $37,000 is your saving grace for retirement, but that's really draining everything down to nothing, all to pay off this Parent Plus loan for your daughter. And so I'm just trying to figure out what the other options are. What is your current income?
78 a year.
Great. And what are your expenses?
So around $3,000 a month.
Okay. So you should have, if we were doing a budget, you should have a few $1,000s left over each month?
No, I have a few hundred left. I figured like around 400 left. I do budget, and I do.
Do you have other debt?
400. No, that's all. But it's till my take-home pay is like $3,400 because of me contributing to my IRA. I've been putting 25% in. I've been really trying to build it up because of my
trying to make up for lost time. Man, well, I'm trying to think through a plan where you could knock out these loans, get them out of your life, and still try to build a decent nest egg.
And that's what I've been trying to do. I've been putting $600 a month against this loan.
Well, the interest is probably $600 a month at this point. Those Parent Plus loans are brutal.
Oh, they are brutal. I was looking at the daily interest is almost $7 a day, and that was the other thing. It's 7.9%. Is there a way to negotiate that interest?
I don't know that they'll negotiate. The only way to get out of that would be to, refinance it, which you'd lose the federal protections. It'd become a private student loan. And I don't know if you'd get a much better rate. It's something you can look into. But again, I don't think this is going to be the solution. I'm wondering if we pause all retirement investing and just got real intense about this and you pay it off in 2 years. Because right now you're trying to do two things at once and you're not making great progress on either.
Right.
Pat, what will you be getting are you getting Social Security right now?
I am. I'm getting $2,000 a month in Social Security.
Okay.
Are your benefits hurt by the fact that you're working right now?
That I don't know because I just started collecting Social Security.
Okay. You are full retirement age, so I think you should be getting the full amount even if you're working at this point, but that's something to look into. At least you have a great income. I mean, there's some saving grace here. Usually people that are 68 either retired and are just trying to live off Social Security, or they're not making $80,000 a year. They're making 30, 40, 50. And so this is at least something you have to your advantage of knocking this out. And maybe eventually, I don't know their situation financially, but if they're able to even chip in and help, because I just don't want you to be a burden to them when you're in your 70s because you have nothing saved. And now mom's got to move in with them and they have to cover her financial life.
That won't happen. The husband,
he wouldn't even let you move in.
No.
Sounds like a peach. All right. Well, Pat, these Parent Plus loans really are becoming like a cancer on society. It's destroyed relationships, and parents took it out thinking they were doing the right thing for their kids. The kids go, hey, it's in your name. You took it out. I was a kid. I was 18. I didn't know what I was doing. This is on you. But I would at least be very blunt about your financial reality with your daughter, and so that she knows what's on the line. And if they can at all help you get rid of this, that at least gives you a chance at a decent retirement.
Okay. So I'm pausing my contributions into my IRA.
Yeah, put that 25% back in your paycheck.
But remember, you're not pausing it for the rest of your life. You're pausing it for a short period of time. 24 months, we're going to pause it all, and we're going to start throwing, this kind of loan, you're talking about $3,000 a month going toward the loan to knock it out in 2 years. A little more than that. Because the interest is adding up, you're right. And so the more we throw at the principal, the faster this thing's gone. Because right now, you throw $600 at it, but $100 or $200 is interest. Well, only $400 is now knocked out. And so if we can start throwing $3,000 at it, you'll actually see that balance start to go down instead of just keeping it at bay.
Okay.
But there's no other magic wand I can throw at you. I mean, these loans are not even bankruptable in most cases. And so really the only way to get rid of student loans is to pass away, which is the darkest part of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm wishing you the best, Pat.
So sorry.
Riley is up next in Memphis, Tennessee. Riley, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are y'all?
Doing great. What's going on with you?
Hey, about 2 years ago, I bought a $60,000 truck. I currently owe $39 on it, and it's worth about $29.32.
Okay.
I say I can afford the payment, but once I get done paying the payment, well, after I get paid and insurance and buying diesel for it, I'm left with about $100 for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
After your truck payment?
Yeah, after my truck payment.
How much do you make? How much do you make a month? How much do you bring home a month?
It fluctuates depending upon if they're letting us work overtime, but it could be anywhere from $1,400 bring home to $2,000 bring home
in a week.
So every 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay. And how much is your truck payment?
$758.64.
Okay.
That's a lot, my friend. That's a quarter of your take-home pay, just going to the truck payment.
It is.
So you're underwater by $7,000 to $9,000. So that's the magic number we need to come up with, either in cash through savings, future income, or by going down to your local credit union and seeing if they'll give you that loan for the difference, plus some to get you something to get around in.
Yeah. An ideal situation is like a $12,000 loan. $13,000 loan, so you have an extra $3,000 to $4,000 to go get a crappy truck.
Facebook Marketplace and get an inspection and just go, all right, this thing's not fancy, but it runs.
And then you save almost $1,000 a month, $750.
Yeah, between the diesel, the insurance, and the payment, you're going to feel like you got a giant raise because you did.
Yeah. Well, I talked to the bank this morning, and they told me that I have another car that's paid for, and it runs fine. It's in the driveway. They told me to get the VIN and put it up for collateral.
No.
And then don't do that.
Like a title loan?
No.
Yeah, they just said for collateral because I've never had a loan.
That's a title loan. It means they own the car if you miss the payments. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, no, just see if if you can do just a personal loan for $9,000 at that point. Or if you have $1,000 saved, Riley, then an $8,000 loan, whatever it is for that difference. And pay this truck off ASAP.
You've worked too hard to get control of your money just to let strangers control your data. Think about it. Just about every time you sign up for a newsletter, grab a coupon code, or start a free trial, your personal info, like your name, email address, phone number, and more, gets scooped up and sold by data brokers. Here's the deal. Freedom isn't only being debt-free. It's also being free from companies cashing in on your data. And that's where Delete Me comes in. Delete Me's privacy experts find your personal info on these shady data broker sites, they get it deleted, and they keep it gone. It's like having a digital cleanup crew that scrubs your online life. So you get way fewer of those spam calls, creepy texts, and scam emails that make you wonder how they even found you. Guys, the less noise in your digital life, the more time you have for what actually matters. Because when you protect your privacy, you protect your peace and your freedom. So go to joindeleteme.com/Ramsey to get 20% off their annual plans and take back control. That's joindeleteme.com/Ramsey. We wish that we could get to every call and question here on The Ramsey Show, and we can. But if you have a money question, you want an answer, there is hope for you. You can head over to our website and use Ask Ramsey. It's our free AI tool that is built and trained on proven Ramsey principles. This is stuff that you're not going to get from your other search engines because they just don't know us like that.
Yes.
This thing has the brain power of all the Ramsey Show calls.
All Ramsey. It's kind of
all
scary.
The
it's
articles.
Like just like a robot of Ramsey. It's like us, George.
It's a superpower. It's way smarter than us because it knows everything.
That's so true. Can do.
I actually used it today, Rachel. You know what I asked it?
What'd you
ask? Like, I know our car parameter that no more than half your income in things with wheels and motors. But I was like, what about net worth as a ratio? And it told me, it said, hey, make sure that the cars in your life aren't more than 5% of your total net worth.
Of your total net worth.
I was like, thanks, Ask Ramsey.
Gosh, Ramsey, we should.
I was like, I think it's 5. I think I've heard Dave say this, and Ask Ramsey knows all.
There you go.
So it settled the debate for me. And you can get the answer the same way we'd answer it right here on the show. So ask your question today at RamseySolutions.com. Go take it for a test drive. I think you'll really enjoy it. Or click the link in the description if you're listening on podcast or YouTube. Tyler joins us in Canada. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's my first time calling, so I'm excited to hear your feedback.
Hey, about time. We're glad to have you. What's your question?
Thank you very much. Yeah, so my wife and I are moving to a different province in Canada. She's just about to be done graduating 7 years worth of school. She's going to be a veterinarian when she's done.
Nice.
And because of she has a job, guaranteed contract, she's already signed it, and I have work lined up back home as well that we both know what we're going to be making. So we went ahead and made a decision. We put an offer in on a house, in part because of the money we had saved for school, plus, unfortunately, her father passed away recently, but that meant she got, the life insurance payment made it so that it was more than possible for us to do either a 10 or a 20% down payment on all the housing that we were looking at in rural New Brunswick in this case, which maybe that's fine advice, maybe it's not. But the problem became then, they're good people and they had, their worries and concerns, but her mother and grandmother and my in-laws have sort of been telling us like that it's too much too soon and it's a bad decision. And I was just wondering if there's, if I'm making a mistake or if what I'm doing is fine.
Are they saying it's a bad decision because of where you guys are financially, or because it's just too soon because you just graduated, you're newlyweds? Was it more of a life or a money reason?
I think it's definitely more money reasons. Like, we've been married for almost 5 years, so it's not like you're keeping up too much onto a new relationship or anything.
Okay.
And they know your incomes?
Yeah, they
know
what
we're
going to be making.
A lot of debt from her vet school?
We have some hangover. The only caveat here is because it's Canada, there's no interest on the student loans. So we are paying them, but it's a
How
little.
How much student loan debt is there?
Doesn't matter for the. It's around $30,000.
Okay.
What other debts do you guys have?
Nothing. It's just those.
Do y'all have
there's
any
no
money?
Loans, there's no credit cards.
Okay. And how much money do you guys have saved total, including when her father passed away?
So all between what I've saved and between what we have, we've probably got around 80,000.
Okay.
Saved. Yeah, so it'd be a little over $80,000. That's like liquid right now.
Okay.
It's non-retirement.
Gotcha.
So if you take away the loans, that brings you down to 50. Take away an emergency fund of 6 months, that takes it another 30 down. So you're left with 20 grand essentially.
Let's go
right?
3 months. They're young. They don't have kids.
Okay. Rachel's being very kind.
Let's live on the edge. We'll go 20.
20K. So 20K for emergency fund, 30K for debt.
Then you got 30K, and then
leaves you with 30 left for a down payment.
Yeah, 30,000 for a down payment is where we would say you guys are parameter-wise versus 80.
How much is the house that you guys put an offer on?
So what we ended up settling for was $345. So 10% would be the 34 and a half.
Yeah.
I was hoping to. So maybe this is the philosophy difference. I was going to leave the student loans and go for 20 on the house, and then use the excess because it would be, an extra $500 a month that I'm saving on the mortgage, and I wanted to use that to go in and pay the student loans.
How much a month extra would you get? You said so you'd save $500 a month if you put 20% down.
Right, because it would avoid PMI.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
So that would be going instead of paying the student loan or the lump sum immediately. Just because there's no interest on it, my incentive to pay it isn't quite the same, and I think I'm net saving more money by reducing the insurance load or the interest on the house rather than the student loans that I'm less incentivized to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, yeah, and in that case, if it was just $500 you're putting towards those loans, it'd be like 3.5 years till they're paid off. So our philosophy is to be debt free before you buy a home, and to have an emergency fund in place, and then what is left is. Yeah, what you would put down for a house. How much do you guys make a year together? What will the new jobs be?
Yeah, it'll be about the floor. The most conservative estimate will be $125.
Okay.
Her job, she's expected, obviously, like within 3 years to be making a lot more than the 85 starting. And there's a commission component. So, depending on what drug she does or doesn't sell. So I'm not planning that into a budget or anything, but it's another consideration.
So 125 for both of you.
Right.
What are you making?
Oh, no, that's combined. 125 is combined.
Combined,
so
okay.
She'd be around 85, and I'd be about conservative.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys lived on 90, well, I guess that's before taxes.
Yeah, my guess is your take-home pay will be somewhere in the $7,000 range?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Okay.
Maybe I would say a little bit more than that, but yeah, that's
around
there.
Okay. My fear is that, if you do it the Ramsey way, you're talking about, I know you guys have a different mortgage structure. You guys have adjustable rate mortgages that change every 5 years. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And our interest, or the rate is 3.5% here, where it's more, I think, for you guys as well.
Okay.
Not sure though.
But the rate could change, every couple of years.
Yeah.
So my fear is that you pick up this home, and if you do it our way, that mortgage could be $3,000 out of your $7,000, right?
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
That feels like a big load to carry going into this new phase of life. We recommend 25% going towards your housing. And so you'd be closer to 40, edging up to 50, depending on the situation, insurance, property taxes, all of that. HOA, I don't know how that works in Canada, but that's my fear right now.
It's rural, so there's no HOA, and the property taxes is it's about $100 a month.
Okay. So there's a piece of me that says you guys might be able to make this work, but it's going to be more stressful than you think it is. But if you waited another, let's say 6 months, you signed a short lease agreement to rent in this new province, kind of get used to the area.
Even just a year, you know what I mean?
It's the province where we were from. I guess the only other thing, piece of information that might be relevant here, her job requires her week on, week off to be in one of two different places. So where we were getting is kind of in the middle to reduce her driving between each one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's closer to where I would end up working as well. So the options to rent that are actually close are close to non-existent because of how rural it is.
Okay, well, how far is what's the difference of the two places?
We're talking about
45 minutes?
A 20-minute drive versus over an hour, yeah.
Okay. Well, for a year, here's the thing, Tyler. The reason that everything is laid out the way it is with the baby steps and all of it, which hasn't changed in 30 plus years, is because this is the most peaceful, most efficient way to build wealth long term. Okay. And I say peaceful, people getting out of debt. It's not really peaceful. It's crazy. You're trying to get out. But the point is that especially with a house, your house is supposed to be a blessing. It's supposed to be a place of peace and rest. And the thing is, people quickly move into that purchase thinking, okay, if I could just get that house, it's going to be okay. And we'll figure out the finances. It's okay. We're right on that edge. But what George was saying earlier is you're right on that edge. And what it could cause is a level of stress that's unnecessary for today. Yeah. That if you guys just waited 1 year, had an inconvenience of an extra 25, 30, 40-minute drive for 1 year, saved like crazy, knocked out the debt, had, looked at it and said, okay, we can go full force, 20% down. Like, it's just a more peaceful way. And there's no one telling you have to buy a house right now, No. There's no one. So,
and you can, it gives you more options down the line. One of you, let's say you have kids, one of you wants to stay home. Well, you can't. And guess what? There's no daycare out in the woods. And so now we're left in alert. So we're trying to think about future Tyler as well. Wishing you the best.
Most people just drift through life with their money. No plan, no budget, stuck on autopilot. But winning with money is intentional. That's why I love Fair Winds Credit Union. They've built tools for people who don't want gimmicks or games. Their Smart Bundle includes a high-yield savings account to help your emergency fund grow, and their Spend Smart checking account won't nickel and dime you to death with fees like other banks. Plus, it comes with the Ramsey Be Weird debit card, which says debt is normal, be weird, right on the front of it. It keeps you connected to your budget, and every time you use it, it's a reminder. You control your money, not the other way around. Fair Winds Credit Union is for people who are serious about taking control of their money. So if you're ready to stop drifting and start building wealth on purpose, open your Smart Bundle today at fairwinds.org/Ramsey. That's fairwinds.org/Ramsey, insured by the NCUA.
Haley's in Seattle up next. Haley, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. Super excited to be here.
What's going on with you today?
I am trying to decide if my family just made the biggest financial mistake of our lives.
Oh, no. What is it?
Say more.
So we just sold our Ramsey model perfect house in Boise, Idaho to move to a high-cost living in Seattle, Washington.
Why'd you move?
We have 2 young kids, and I became permanently disabled from my job. And I wanted to be close to family. Oh, thank you. I'm dealing with it, but I wanted to be close to family to help with the raising of our children.
Yeah, that's a very noble decision and a great why. So what is causing you to feel like that was a big mistake? Is it all financial related because it's just more expensive?
Yes. It's hard to justify leaving a $1,200 mortgage.
Well, it is when you're permanently disabled and you have young kids, you want to be near family. I mean, that's...
And it depends on how much of your world this new mortgage is.
Yes. So
it might just be like, well, we're paying this much, now we're paying this much. The sticker shock sometimes hurts more than the actual reality ratios.
So, our rent, we moved into an apartment, and our rent is $3,285 a month.
Oh, yeah, that can hurt.
And what's the household income now, like every month?
About $7,500.
So that's where you're feeling the pinch. Is half of the income is now going to rent instead of building equity at $1,200 a month.
Exactly. And it was just such an affordable place to live, too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, well, it's done, right? The decision's made. The house has been sold, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Okay,
Correct.
So what can we do moving forward to help you?
So my husband and I feel like we're never going to be able to re-enter the economy as homeowners and take that next step again. We feel like we took this huge step back. And I guess my husband is in the mindset currently that we made the biggest financial decision that could ruin our future going forward, and it's going to take us years to recoup.
It's very dramatic
in rent.
Wow.
Very dramatic.
The clouds are just hovering over you. Well, what happened to the proceeds from the house?
Doomsday. You sound like me. Like the world's coming to an end.
It's scary. Like I get where he's coming from, but I feel like we have such a solid financial base that I don't think that's not true.
How much did you get from the house when you sold the house?
$230.
Okay.
Where did that go?
Where's that?
That one is in a high yield savings account right now because we don't know like when we could buy again.
Okay. What are the houses going in the area that you guys are in?
Oh gosh. Like for a decent 3-bedroom house, we're looking at $700,000 to $800,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a solvable problem. I mean, yes, it's more expensive than living in Boise. So we need to get that out of our head.
And
as
y'all
the
knew
baseline.
that though, Haley. Like, right? Like you guys didn't just like show up in Seattle and be like, oh my gosh, this is more expensive. Like you knew that. So living in it's a different reality. I understand that. But it wasn't like it surprised you.
Well, I think it surprised my husband a little bit, just because he wasn't really for the move. He loved our home and like the situation we were in, and we felt like we were really financially stable, and he kind of believed that.
So
we
I
could
wonder
make
if
it
that's
work
part
even
of his
without
draw.
family.
I wonder if that's part of the big statements, Haley. Is that yes, it is more expensive, which can feel overwhelming, but you guys have $280,000 sitting in a high yield savings account, which is more than enough for a down payment on a new home.
You're not destitute.
Yes.
And I think part of it is I just don't want any level of bitterness or resentment in him to grow, because it doesn't sound like you both felt really, really solid and really excited and really on the same page about this move.
It's not something you chose. You didn't do it out of a place of strength.
No. Well, it just seems so. It feels like we just went against everything that Dave Ramsey teaches.
Forget Dave Ramsey. This is your life, Haley. I mean, you have this health condition that has caused you to have to move, and it wasn't your choice. And I have Dr. John Deloney in my head going, you need to grieve the life that you had. That one's over, and now there's a new chapter. And so we can either look backwards and go, oh my gosh, if we just could live in Boise again, or we can go, hey, this is a fun adventure. We got young kids living in this really cool city. Yes, it's more expensive, but my husband has a great job. Maybe he can make even more money in the long run being in Seattle, especially with all the tech stuff around it. There's a great economy there.
Yeah.
And you guys will be homeowners again one day. You have hundreds of thousands of dollars saved.
Right. And I was going to say, would we put all of that money down on a new home?
Yes. It was stuck in the last home, wasn't it?
Okay.
What else would you do with it?
I just wasn't sure. I don't know. I just feel like it I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it just feels like we're using a lot of...
Was this move, Haley, a quick decision? When from the moment you guys started talking about it to it actually happening? Was it was it a year? Was it...
Oh, gosh, like months.
Okay, so I do wonder if you guys rushed into it. And George, I love you, but I will correct. He said you needed to move. You didn't have to move.
Yes.
You chose to.
For the help with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. For the overall quality of your life because of what happened. How long ago was the accident that caused you to be permanently disabled?
It's been it's kind of hard. I'm blind, so it was a slow progression.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Haley, y'all are just dealing with a lot. Can I just say that? You're just dealing with a lot. That is one of the most
it's a lot of
horrific, life-changing Yes. You're grieving your sight, which I can't even imagine.
Yeah. I didn't want to give up work.
Your husband,
that was a really hard decision.
Sure. Yes, and giving up that part of you that was contributing and that you loved your work. Your husband who's, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot.
And I'm sure it's a lot on him to figure all this out.
Yeah. I think the stress is less about it being more expensive in Seattle. And I think it's that your life has completely changed. And what George said, quoting John, of kind of grieving what was supposed to be, what we thought would look like for the next 10, 15 years of our life. It looks so different on so many levels, right? And it does. That's a really sad reality, that's hard. Not that you guys can't get through it and create something beautiful in this next season, but to acknowledge that's difficult.
Yeah, it has been hard, but again, like you guys said, I feel like we're in like a safe space. I mean, we're around family and there is the financial backing to purchase a home. We're just kind of hesitant in just of like putting all that money into a new home in this area, like just with the current economy and climate, like we don't know if that's like smart or if renting is the better way to go. What do you
mean? Yeah, what do you mean by the current when you say that? What does that mean to you?
It just, to me, it feels like with the interest rates of where they're at and the type of houses, they're not like, a lot of them are fixer uppers at the 700 to 800,000 range. You know, we'll get into a home and we'll probably have to replace the roof, or the HVAC system is going to be ancient. And so it's like this fear factor of like, if we buy into another home, like, is that really going to be wise? Are we going to get equity on that
long term? Long term, it will. Paying $3,000 in rent forever and ever, amen, is not the wisest move. It would be, you know what I mean? True. Yeah, more wise to get in. And you guys need to, I would say, slow down before you buy and actually look to see, yes, does the HVAC unit need to be replaced? You'll see all of that in the inspection of the home. None of that will be a surprise. You guys will have some factor, but yes, being a homeowner is more expensive. You're exactly right. But also, I do think there's some semantics that are thrown around when it comes to the economy and the housing market. And it is true. Houses are more expensive than they were 5 years ago. Yes, interest rates are around 5%, and they're not at the 2 to 3%. Like, there are some realities. But just this, like, vague idea that, oh gosh, the economy is just not good, we shouldn't buy a home. I would want some more facts around those thoughts.
Yeah. My fear is you look back 10 years from now and you go, wow, the economy was great back then and we had no idea.
Yeah.
And so I'm a glass half full kind of guy when it comes to that. So the goal is let's grieve what was and let's make a plan for the future. And that might mean we're going to save $25,000 a year or $50,000 a year for this next home 3 years from now. And that's it. It's slowed down your wealth building, but you have the right setup in place for your life, and that's far more important.
Well, Dave, on the show all the time we get calls about cars, used cars. What's one thing you want folks to know?
Well, really a couple things. Number one is always buy used unless you got $1 million. We don't buy new cars. And if you're going to buy used, number two, you want it to last. And that means regular proper maintenance.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I know when Sam and I moved from South Florida up to Tennessee, that's the first thing you're looking for. You need somebody who can take care of your car. So when we found Christian Brothers Automotive, it was a no-brainer, and they've been absolutely great.
We're excited to recognize Christian Brothers as the official auto repair partner of The Ramsey Show. Christian Brothers keeps things simple, honest, and transparent. Every repair is backed by their nationwide nice difference warranty. 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever helps you more.
Listen, Dave, I'm first to admit I'm not into cars like you are, but the thing about Christian Brothers is I feel just as confident going in there. They're not trying to upsell me. I feel 100% confident that I'm going to get the service that I need.
Hey, if you want your car to last and stay on track with the baby steps, trust Christian Brothers. Go to cbac.com/Ramsey to find your local shop, schedule service, and get an exclusive Ramsey discount, 10% off your visit, up to $250.
Yeah, that's cbac.com/Ramsey. See store for details.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by best-selling author Rachel Cruze, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Lynn is in Maine up next. Lynn, welcome to the show. Are you with us? So close. All right.
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
Yes, I am.
Oh. You scared me half to death, Lynn.
Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
what's
you're
going
fine.
on?
Hi. So my husband and I got married last year. We started the baby steps right after getting married. We paid off our debt aside from our mortgage. And 6 months into marriage, I found out that my husband owed $80,000 in back taxes. And also at this time, we found out we were pregnant with our first child.
Oh, my gosh.
That's finding out, a lot going on. We paid the $80,000 out of our emergency fund and house fund, so we had the money to pay that. But we are unsure where to go from here emotionally and financially, because tax season for 2025 is quickly approaching, and we are expecting to owe about $40,000.
Oh my gosh.
Boy.
Lynn, why has the accounting not changed after everything?
The accounting. Are
you doing quarterly payments?
No, we hadn't.
Okay. So you didn't learn.
You didn't make any payments in 2025.
But didn't learn from owing $80,000. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just wondering, did it not occur to your husband?
We found out in December. So we were trying to catch up before we paid 2025.
Oh, so you found out about the 80 in December.
Yeah.
And at that
like
point,
2 months ago.
2025, you found that was for 2024?
That was for 2022, 2023, and 2024.
Got it. So by the time you found out about all of this, it was too late because 2025 was over at that point. So now we're just sort of cleaning up. This is still part of the mess. Let's call it 120 grand, and you've cleaned up 80 of it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, it's fairly simple. It's a $40,000 debt that you owe the government, and so we got to pay that as aggressively as possible. Do you have other debts as well?
We don't. We paid off all of our other debt.
Good.
Thankfully, we have a business. It's a restaurant. So we have $40,000. Total we have $60,000 in the bank account for our restaurant, and we have $20,000 in our personal account. And I know you talk about pausing paying debt when you find out you are pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just wondering if we should take money from the business account, or if we should get on a payment plan with the IRS, or what our best what our best way forward is.
Yeah, I think for stork mode is what we call it. I think IRS debt is not included. Like, I think you got to pay
especially
it.
if you have the money. So the question is, what was that 60 grand earmarked for in the business account? Is that needed for upcoming purchases, investments, anything like that, or was it just kind of an emergency fund for the business?
Yeah, an emergency fund for the business. It takes about $15,000 a week to operate. While we do bring in more than $15,000 a week, we just wanted to kind of...
Yeah, how much do you guys bring home?
A total a month. Mm-hmm. We bring home about $15,000 a month.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So you could easily restock the business account if you took $40K.
I would pay $40K today out of the business.
Because truthfully, this is kind of an emergency for your business. Is you didn't withhold enough taxes or at all. And so I would take that out. Now you got $20K in there plus $20K in checking. So you're not in a lurch if you did need to cover, an emergency. And so I would just work on restocking that, and you guys should still be good for your stork mode. I mean, you have 20 grand. The stork mode is more for like, we are broke. We have $1,000 starter emergency fund, and we need to make sure that we're covered in case there's, health bills.
Right. Okay.
So I have full confidence. I would clean it up because, truthfully, while you're pregnant, you don't want to be dealing with the stress of IRS debt.
Yes. Yeah, get rid of it.
I want this to be exciting and fun and not this looming in the back of your mind that we owe the IRS
and
all this money.
Do you have someone that's helping you with your taxes for the business?
We do now, yes.
Okay,
the accountant that we had before wasn't great, but we have somebody trustworthy now, so we feel like we're in a good path forward. Obviously, this was very hard emotionally, which I'm still trying to get over. I think that's the biggest thing for me right now.
Emotionally, because you didn't know about it?
Because trust, or...
Yes.
Yeah, and was it...
I didn't know about it.
Do you feel like, was there any level of secrecy out of not malice, that sounds bad, but of like, oh gosh, I don't want her to know? Or was it complete just ignorance of genuinely not knowing that he owed this?
I think it's hard to say for sure. I think part of him maybe knew that he owed something. I don't think that he knew that he owed $80,000. He was filing taxes for the business, but wasn't filing the money that he was taking from the business.
Yep.
And he wasn't fully realizing, but also should have definitely checked. So it's just been hard to find that out.
Yeah, for sure, Lynn. That's very stressful. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the good news is you guys can cover this with the cash on hand. and it's fixed for the future. So I would just get rid of it now. I wouldn't get on a payment plan. Just cut them the check for $40,000 and fix it for the future. I mean, you got your next quarter is coming up here to pay your quarterly estimated payments. So let's prepare for that and finally get ahead of it instead of kind of being reactive.
Right, and use some kind of cash flow for the next month, or try to cash flow for the next month at quarterly, because we're kind of still playing catch up right now.
Exactly. So you might owe 10 or 15 grand in a quarterly payment coming up. And so we got to make sure we have that. And so the next week we're going to be living on a pretty tight budget now. So I don't know how you guys are living now. If I was making 15 grand a week, I'd be living La Vida Loca. And so it might be time to batten down the hatches and live a little bit more conservatively until we get through this phase. The taxes are solved. The baby's here.
Yeah, he may not bring home as much because he's putting more in the business to make sure those taxes are paid.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Best of luck with that
Good luck,
sweet
Lynn.
baby.
I know.
Such an exciting time. You don't want it clouded by this mountain of debt.
So much. And it's scary, like what she said. I mean, and thank God, I mean, they're somewhat responsible. They got 60 grand in an emergency fund in the business, 20 grand. There's elements of it that are a saving grace, because some people...
Usually if you're making that kind of money, you're comfortable with all these payments around you and you're just sort of keeping up.
Yes.
And luckily they lived fiscally responsibly in other ways.
Yes, to be able to have some of that. Yep, that's savings.
Whew, and a good reminder for anybody who is self-employed, even if you do like side gigs. I mean, you got to pay self-employment tax. You got to pay your quarterly estimated payments. And it's not that hard. You can sort of calculate using calculators on the IRS website how much you'll owe in taxes. And you go, all right, I'm going to owe 40 grand this year, or I made this much this quarter. I need to write a check to the IRS and log in, connect your bank, and pay the IRS what they're owed. It's not fun, but we can't pretend like, ooh, free money. I don't have to pay taxes because I'm self-employed. You got to pay them and then some, bud. You got the business taxes and your personal taxes. The government wants their cut. And so make sure you take care of that so it doesn't add stress to your life, because the IRS can really screw it up. They can garnish your wages, come after your stuff. They're not your traditional lender. So take care of this stuff.
Hey, what's up? This is Dr. John Deloney from my friends at Mama Bear Legal Forms. I spend a lot of time talking with people about anxiety, relationship challenges, and all kinds of other things that keep people up at night. One thing I'm always telling everybody is that peace does not come from avoiding hard things. Peace comes from facing hard things and directly walking through them. One of the hard things we all face is our own mortality. And if you've got kids or people you love, creating a will is one of the most important things you can give them. I'm such a big fan of Mama Bear. When I moved from Texas to Tennessee, one of the first things I did was set up my will through Mama Bear so that my family was protected in my new state. Mama Bear will help you make a clear, legally valid will in about 20 minutes. They provide step-by-step guidance that makes getting a will simple. Believe me, if you're ready to love your family in a real and practical and lasting way, go to mamabearlegalforms.com and use the promo code Ramsey to save 20%. That's mamabearlegalforms.com. Use code Ramsey.
We're headed to Providence, Rhode Island. James joins us there. What's going on, James?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great. What's your question today?
My question is about communication. I'm 30 years old, and I just got engaged. And I found you guys maybe a year ago, and I'm on baby step 2. I got $10,000 left on a car loan, and I budgeted $12,000 and maybe a little more for a wedding that we have coming up in 2028. So
that's a long ways away.
Yeah. Well, we could have done it next year, but we wanted to fund it ourselves without going into debt.
Okay.
So that's why we chose 2028. right now I make around $50,000 a year, but transitioning careers to become a firefighter, and I'll be making $80K. So I'm upping my income for our future. But I wanted to try and start a conversation with her, but as I tried to talk about debt and all of that, I just found myself not knowing how to approach it well. I've become really passionate about living debt-free and trying to become debt-free. So how do I communicate with her without coming off as controlling or judgmental about her having debt and all that?
What do you know about her finances?
From what I know, she has credit card debt. She has car debt and student loan. The amount is not, I don't have full knowledge on the amounts. I know it's north of $25,000 total or more.
Well, you guys are engaged, so you have the right to start talking about this stuff. It's not like it's been 2 dates and you're like, hey, I really want to lay it all out. And so now is the time. Consider this your premarital counseling to make sure. And you go into it saying, hey, as we head towards marriage, I want to make sure that we're aligned because I know money is a huge part of marriage and I don't want us to be having money fights. I want us to hit our financial goals. And my values around money is that I believe being debt-free is our best path to building wealth and having a marriage with less fights. And see how that hits her. And it's not a judgment. You're not saying, I can't believe you're in debt. You better get out before we're married or else. That's not the spirit of this conversation.
Yeah, it's almost like not even shaming the past decisions, but it's more like, hey, going forward, how are we going to build a life together where we're unified and we have the same value system, right? And that would be true with how you want to handle in-laws, how you want to parent, your spiritual life. This is all part of, uniting two lives together when you get married, and you don't have to be the same person. Right, she may still be a spender, you may still be a saver. It's not like you're trying to morph her into who you are. But the value systems on which you make decisions doesn't have to be consistent, but the more consistent they are, I would say probably, I don't want to say the easier the marriage is going to be, but definitely it's a less mountain to climb.
Yep. Less tension in that area for sure.
So go ahead.
I know she's the one and I really want my future to be with her, and I just want our future together to be as stress-free as possible.
Yeah.
What if you guys did something together to sort of get on the same page, like reading the Total Money Makeover or going through Financial Peace University and going, hey, as part of our sort of premarital counseling, I'd love for us to go through this money course or read this book together so that we're kind of speaking the same language?
Well, her language, she's a teacher, she's an English teacher, so her language, she has a bunch of books. So, that would probably be the good first step through books.
I love it. And even an audiobook too. If you guys are on a road trip or something, it can be casual. It's not like it's an intense, we're going to do a book report here.
Yeah, no, and you're not wrong to ask this stuff, James. I do want to just affirm that when you're engaged to someone, everything's out on the table. Like, you're about to combine your lives. You know what I mean? So bringing up big conversations and hard conversations, that's the the grounds of marriage. Like that is what you're going to do. And so you're right. Practicing that now is very important. And for you guys to, by the time you guys walk down the aisle, James, you need to know how much she makes, what's in retirement, what she has set up, as a teacher, what debt she has. She needs to, you guys are going to know everything because you're going to combine it all and be one after that marriage. So,
I just don't want to come off as, someone I'm trying to dominate or anything like that. I just want to know what I have to deal with and what we will have to deal with together once we become married. And
nothing about you sounds controlling and dominating at this point in the conversation. So I don't know that you could really screw it up unless you're just way too passionate and overbearing. And she's like, who is this guy? He came out of nowhere. But if she knows you well enough, this is going to feel like another conversation and just say, hey, I've been thinking a lot about this. And I was thinking, man, it'd be really cool to be heading into marriage debt-free. Can we I want to map it out on paper and just see what's possible? Because you got to pay for the wedding. You're both covering that.
And you're still getting out of debt, James. So it's not like you know what I mean?
There's no better than thou.
Yeah. That's what you can say. I've messed up with money. I've been so in debt and it's stressed me out, and I've started to actually find freedom and peace by getting out of debt. And it's really important to me that as we build a future together, that we see and are aligned on this. And it doesn't have to be like this my way or the highway, but at least approaching the conversation,
And then whatever she says next, that's your cue to dig in and ask more clarifying questions and really get to the heart of whatever her fears or dreams are.
Definitely.
And then you can sort of couch that to go, okay, now I can see how debt freedom is a part of that. Mm-hmm. And I think even going into it saying, I have these goals, how cool would it be if we had options when we got married? Instead of having to clean up a bunch of debt, how awesome would it be to have the wedding paid for and no debt and money in the bank so that we're closer to buying a house, or we can go on this amazing vacation or honeymoon? And so now we're dreaming. This is an exciting conversation versus a woe is me.
And you get to know a person through the lens of money, right? Of how she grew up. What was her household growing up with money? Was it stressful? Was money talked about? Was there
scarcity
tension? Was it scarcity mindset? You kind of learn of how she is, what her personalities are, what her tendency is around money, the things that she loves to do with it, the things that she's scared of and that she's fearful for in the future. I mean, you really get to know someone as well on a great level, on a deep level when it comes to these conversations too.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sorry, probably overwhelmed you, James. Hold on the line.
Much.
And Kelly's going to pick up and we'll give you a copy of my book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, because it does talk about those money classrooms of how you grew up, your tendencies, and Total Money Makeover. We'll give you two copies.
OG.
We'll give you 2 copies of Total Money Makeover, so you each can read one.
She's an English teacher. She wants her own.
Yeah. And
mark it up, highlight it.
Yeah, and this is exciting. We probably overwhelmed him. Sorry, James.
No, he's excited. I get it. In engagement, you're nervous. You're like, I don't want to screw this up. You're on the precipice.
Yes.
And so you're like, now's not the time to throw a wrench into things, but it's the right wrench.
But it is. It's
the right wrench.
Well,
you don't want to throw it.
Because money fights. I know. Money
don't
fights.
Don't throw wrenches.
I know, but money fights and money problems are one of the leading causes of divorce. It's in the top 3 list always of reasons why people get divorced. And it's a big conversation. Like, it's a big conversation to have and an urgent one to have. Because
I don't know what woman is like, if you came up to her and said, hey, money fights and money problems are one of the leading causes of divorce, I don't want that to be us. I want to just...
Yeah, you almost feel loved and cared for.
What a fiscally responsible man I'm about to marry. This is awesome.
James is so responsible. He loves me so much.
If she gets frazzled or upset, then you're the calm one going, hey, what's going on here?
Well, then that's saying more about her. What's going on there? And then you get to dig in. Yes.
So there's really no
lose-lose. Yes.
This is going to be so great. I wish I was there to watch it. We should do like a show where we're in their ear with a little microphone.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. And we're like, say this. Okay, hold on, hold her hand, grab her hand. Okay, good.
All right, if you guys want that show, we'll workshop it. We'll pitch it to the network.
Because people know we can talk. I think we just talked James's ear off.
I would love it. But you have her, I've got him, and we're sort of battling.
Oh, that's good. I think that's great.
I'd watch that show.
I think that sounds fantastic.
It's like Impractical Jokers.
That's what I was going to say. There's a show that, where they make them do something, but we would actually be helpful.
But it's not a prank show. We're just trying to help you.
No, we're really trying to help.
Nail the conversation.
Ooh, the money fight show. That's what it should be.
All right, guys. I think we just nailed it. We just pitched it. I think Dave Ramsey just signed off. We're good. Can't wait.
If you're looking for a more budget-friendly way to save on medical costs and stay true to your values, Christian Healthcare Ministries is a great option to think about. CHM is not health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry, a biblical, community-based way for Christians to share each other's medical bills. That means no enrollment deadlines, and you can choose any doctor or hospital you want. That kind of freedom is big, especially if you're self-employed, between jobs, or you just need something that fits your budget better. CHM has been around for decades, faithfully serving the Christian community. And many members save hundreds of dollars a month compared to traditional health insurance. And that margin gives you breathing room when you're working the baby steps and trying to steward your money well. And right now, CHM is offering new members a 50% credit towards their first month of membership. Get started at chministries.org/budget and use promo code Ramsey. That's chministries.org/budget and promo code Ramsey.
The Ramsey Show question of the day is brought to you by YRefi. When your private student loans are in default, your progress stalls out. YRefi can help you restart by refinancing defaulted private student loans into a low fixed rate payment that fits your budget so you can stop spinning your wheels. Visit YRefi.com/Ramsey. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. May not be available in all states.
Today's question comes from Brooklyn in Ohio. I'm 27 and married to a great guy who also lives by your principles. We're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and our home will be paid off in 5 years. We have a 6-month-old baby. I'm a free spirit, but with my husband's help, I have become a saver.
Wow. I didn't know you could change.
Our wedding budget a couple of years ago was almost $50,000, and with inflation, our daughter's wedding is going to cost around $70,000. I want to start a wedding savings account for her, but my husband thinks we should pay off the house first. Can we do both at the same time, or pay off the house first and then save for the wedding?
That is a hilarious and fantastic. I mean, from a free spirit to I'm planning the wedding for the 6-month-old, that's pretty impressive.
Because she wants a great wedding in 20 plus years or whatever.
Yeah, in the year 2050.
Yes, so no, Brooklyn, I would not be saving right now for a wedding. I would be paying off the house.
Yep.
I'm on your husband's team. You don't know. You don't know what it's going to cost. You don't know what your daughter is going to want. We don't know that far in the future, right? So that's a very far off purchase to make. Now, one thing you could be thinking about though is college, and saving for that. But yep, for the wedding, I would wait a little bit. I would get the house paid off and get some college funding happening on the side. And then as she gets older and you guys are in a great financial position to be saving. And yep.
I just crunched the numbers for you while Rachel was talking. I got so deathly bored. I was like, I'm just going to go to the investment calculator. Well, I want to just show her that this is a solvable problem, right? You focus on paying down the house.
Yes.
5 years from now, they're debt-free with a 5.5-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Right? So that gives them, let's say 20 years. Let's say at 25, she's getting married.
Okay.
Wedding's happening.
Yep.
So it's 20 years. If you invest $100 a month, starting from nothing, in an investment account, non-retirement, so just like a taxable brokerage account in index funds, you will have $86,000 likely. Let me go 10% to be conservative. That's at 11. 10%, you'd have 75.
And that's $100 a month.
So 75 to 85%, 75 to 85 grand you'd have when she's 25. So that's $100 a month. That's very doable. Again, when you have no mortgage payment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I'm actually doing right now, is not just for a wedding, but you got to think about
that's what I was
a car,
thinking about.
A wedding, a down payment as a gift. What our house is going to cost? How can I help my kid get a leg up while they're young adults?
So I think it's more that. I think it's just the savings for future purchases in life, right? College, yes, if you want to help them in some other way. Down payment you mentioned, or wedding, all of that.
And there's no obligation. You're not a bad parent if you can't help with these things.
No.
But if you can, and you definitely can when you have a paid-for house following the steps, it just gives you more options and flexibility and more room to be generous. So
yes.
I love this question, Brooklyn. You are nailing it. You and your husband are doing the exact thing we would tell you to do. So keep it up. Pay off the house first. AJ's in Nashville. Up next. AJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Wanted to call in. So my fiance and I got engaged last March, and the wedding is in July this year.
Woohoo!
I already had a house and everything, so she just moved in with me about a year and a half ago. So I paid a mortgage and kind of feel house broke, I reckon. She makes a little more than twice what I make, and I know she'd help if I asked her to, but with her student loans, credit cards, and just, I guess, miscellaneous things like her wedding dress and stuff like that. Money's tight for her, too. So my question is, and I know Dave's generally pretty traditionally against it, but would it be easier for us to combine finances early since the wedding's in 5 months, or just hold off on it and then hit the ground running from there?
Yeah, no, I would not combine finances till you're married. I would have her be working on her debt and you working on your financial situation. Then when you guys get married, combine. And then if you are out of debt and she still has debt, then your income will be going to help her pay off her debt. And, you guys are focused as a household on that. So, AJ, how did you afford the house before she moved in? Because you said you had a house and then she ended up moving in. But it's still stressful for you. Is it too much house?
I'd argue it is, but it's when I bought the house, it was in 21. I was in a sales role, so I was doing really well. And then some things happened with the customers I was working with, so I kind of just took a hit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Are you still in a sales role?
No, I still make commission, but it's more of a support.
Okay.
All right.
When you guys combine in July after you get married, because that's soon. I mean, you guys will be, it's a couple months. Will the mortgage then between both of your incomes be about a fourth of your take-home pay?
Monthly take-home pay? Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys can afford the house once you guys get married. But to answer your question, no, I would keep everything separate until you get married.
The scary part is that she doesn't have housing expenses and she makes double what you do and she's still paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, so she's got her loan debt. She just paid her car off. I think the way we grew up is really different. She's been pretty much on her own since she was like 15. So I think it's just a matter of how we look at it.
Yeah, is she paycheck to paycheck, AJ, because she's paying off debt, or is she just paying minimum payments on everything?
I think it's minimum payments. I think lately she's kind of kicked into another gear where she wants to try to get everything paid off before we get married, or at minimum before we have kids, which was ideally 2 years as a timeline for that.
Okay. I would just dig into this and get aligned on what the goals are going to be. It sounds like she is aggressively paying off the debt. I don't think she's just sitting around comfy going, well, we'll just deal with it when we're married. I like the attitude of how cool would it be to have this debt paid off by the time we're married. So, yeah. I mean, it's going to be tight until then. I don't think if you were like, hey, listen, it's tight for me to cover all of the housing expenses on my own right now, I don't think it's terrible to ask her to pitch in. And if you did it, I'm old school. I would have just said, let's not move in together before we're married. But, you guys have made those choices already. We're not going to evict her at this point, I don't think. That probably wouldn't go over well for you. But I would get on a game plan of here's what's going to happen from March through July. Here's how we're going to handle the finances. Once July comes and we're married, we'll combine, and whatever debt is left, we'll attack together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my fear was on asking her initially when she moved in was I didn't want her paying towards like a house if she's not getting anything out of it. I think that was the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's quote unquote rent at that point, right? If you had a roommate, they would be paying rent. But yes, no, I hear what you're saying because her name is not on the house. But when you guys get married, yeah, combining assets and everything is a big.
I mean, it will end up being half hers in a sense once you guys are married. So,
yeah,
I mean, you did the front end work. So either way, I believe all marital assets should be combined, one account, not keeping your separate accounts for fun money. Just do it all out of one joint checking account. Do a budget. Keep a high yield savings. That's again joint that you both have access to. That is the key to a great marriage as it relates to money.
Okay.
Good luck, my man.
Great job, AJ.
I'm going to send you a Financial Peace University as our premarital counseling gift. It's one of the best courses to get on the same page and to light a fire under you guys to start dreaming about what life is going to be like as a couple as you build wealth. Thanks for the call. Whew, it's wild how relationships and money get so intertwined, and it can get heated quick. And he's trying to avoid I don't know, want to ask her because she's working on her thing, and do we combine?
Yeah, and I think the most important conversation is when July happens and we are a married couple, what does life look like? And painting that picture is really important.
Because you probably both have very different pictures right now.
Yeah, if you haven't talked about it, you do. Yeah, absolutely.
It's rare that you're both like, I was thinking the same thing.
This is what I want to do.
That's rare.
Yeah, so the more aligned you guys can be before the wedding day on, again, every topic in life. This happens to be, we're talking about money here, but on everything that, there's just more clarity, more direction, and a little bit more enjoyment because you're walking the same path together through life versus competing, right, or butting heads in it. So, yep, AJ, great question, and good luck to you guys. It's exciting. It'll be here before you know it.
You know, one of the first things I discovered working in the financial world is how absolutely devastating it is when the breadwinner of a family dies and there's too little life insurance or none at all. Grieving families are suddenly left behind, scrambling to pay bills and trying to make ends meet. I also discovered that there are a lot of rip-offs in the life insurance world, like that whole life crap posing as an investment opportunity. What you need is level term life insurance, usually 10 to 12 times your income, which is the smartest, most affordable way to protect your family. The key is finding an independent broker who represents a ton of companies and works for you, not for the insurance company. This is exactly what my friend Jeff Zander and his team at Zander Insurance are all about. They shop the term life companies to find you the best options, and they've been around for over 95 years. So you know they'll be there when you need them. Zander is the real deal, and that's why they've handled all my personal insurance for over 25 years. I trust them, and you can too. Visit Zander.com for instant online quotes, or for a more personal touch, give them a call at 800-356-4282.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. Tax season is upon us. If you want free checklists and guides that will help you file, go to RamseySolutions.com/taxes. We've got you covered for all the resources you need. Elaine is in North Carolina up next. Elaine, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I am recently widowed. My husband took care of all the finances. I am 64. I'm in good shape in regards to finance. I just don't know exactly what I'm doing. So I have about $3.5 million in a high yield savings right now. Okay. I have 2 homes, probably worth right under another $1 million. I know I will eventually, hopefully this year, be selling one of the houses. And I do have an appointment next week with a certified financial planner, someone that I trust. And so my question to you is, do I just deal with one financial planner, or should you split up your money and do it with different people?
I'm comfortable with one, having someone in your corner that you trust and you look at. I mean, I think having a team of people is wise, like having someone, a tax pro in your corner for taxes and different things. So there's different elements of money that I would probably bring some people in just to make sure you have expertise in these areas. But when it comes to specifically investing and looking over your entire financial picture, if you had one person, again, that you trust and that you at least know the history of even other people they've worked with, you know what I mean? Like that they are reputable. I would be comfortable with just one. And I say that because my husband and I, we have one that we use and that we've used for 10 years. So they'll be able to look at this $3.5 million and say, hey, how much of this do we want to leave liquid? How much of this do we want to maybe put into the market so that it grows? And, maybe you can live off that and even have some when you pass away, to pass on to your kids, right? And so whatever that legacy looks like for you guys, because what a wonderful position that you're in, Elaine. I'm so thankful for that. I know that's such a heartbreaking thing to lose your husband, and I'm so sorry. But I'm glad the financial piece isn't a stress factor in this.
Yes, I'm very thankful to my husband and to God.
Yes.
I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
So, being 64, I don't yet have Social Security. My husband would have been, he passed away. He would have been 65 this year. So I was told, and I'm just wondering because I've heard from different people, I was told, though, that I should not take Social Security right now or claim his because I really don't need it right now. And I never worked really outside of our home. I did the whole wife and mom and, all of that stuff. So what I would get in Social Security would be minuscule. And I've been told that if I wait till, later 60s, 70, that I would get all of what he would have had.
Yeah, at 67, there'll be full retirement age, so you'll get 100% of the benefit. Okay. If you take it now, it's reduced. And so because you don't need it, you're 3 years away, you got $3.5 million, I would just wait. And you said you're healthy?
Yes. I am healthy.
So the longer you live, the better of a deal it becomes to take Social Security later. And obviously, God only knows how long we get to live. But in your case, I would be waiting till 67.
Okay, and that's actually what my financial planner said. But I was talking to some friends, and they were like, well, you don't know if you're going to live that long, and you could, take it now, and then if you don't need it, invest that. So, but
well, the truth is, you're going to be fine either way, Elaine. I mean, Social Security is a drop in the bucket compared to the legacy that you guys have built on your own without the help of the government.
Okay. All right. Well, that really helps me. That gives me a lot of confidence.
Yes. Can I ask the $3.5 million? Was that part of that life insurance? Was that you guys over decades saving? How did you accumulate that much?
It was both.
Okay.
It was both. I just my husband always had life insurance, praise God.
Yeah.
And then he was a very hard worker, and we did, in fact, we employed the Ramsey program years ago, and before our children married, we took them to Atlanta to see your father and go to, before they got married, and we were like, you need to do this.
It's the prerequisite.
So great, Elaine. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, well,
and I would wait too, Elaine. We do say usually if there's some type of, tragedy or death, that it's okay to wait a year, right? Just to, I don't know how, when he passed away, but you can have some time. There's no rush to do anything. So if you feel a little stressed or questioning or not understanding, you have time on your side. So don't feel any urgency from this financial planner to do something today. You can wait a little bit, and that's okay. It's whenever you feel comfortable. And any questions you have for this financial planner, ask and fully understand before you put your money into whatever you're putting in. So I would say those two things.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It helps me a lot.
Well, thanks for trusting us with the call, and I'm so sorry for your loss. Lucy is in Lewisburg, West Virginia, up next. Lucy, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. What's your question?
So I just turned 30. I've got a 4-month-old, married last year as well. And my grandparents, when they were still alive, they had built a cabin that could comfortably hold at least 12 to 18 people overnight. So they made it as a vacation home for us because of what we do. We're farmers. We don't get to go on vacation very often. This is kind of close to us. But my grandparents left the entire cabin in myself and my 4 other siblings' names. So there was money to maintain that cabin, and it's drying up. In other words, we're running out to the bottom of it. And right now, our farm is currently bankrolling it. So we estimate about $8,000 to $10,000 a year is what it costs to maintain the cabin. That's everything, and maybe a little bit extra if we have stuff happens, quick fixes, stuff like that. But I know so I'm 30. I have another sibling that's 27, one that's 25, and 24, and then 18. So my question is that the farm is not in a position to bankroll this for a long time. The farm will take care of it for, what it needs, but when does it ultimately become the responsibility of my siblings and I to pay for this? Because we own it. But we have guests and friends that stay in it too at no charge. So,
yeah, you guys are going to have to just create some kind of document, honestly, and rules and boundaries around this property, because five people owning a property is pretty difficult. And so is. And the biggest thing is that I know, at least, so my brother, the only boy, he will probably, we've talked about it in our family before, he will not financially be able to contribute to this camp year after year. So we estimated, between $1,500 to $2,000 a year each of us give into the camp to kind of, help.
You might need to just buy his portion out, and he doesn't own it anymore if he can't.
But that's the thing, though. My parents alive, you shouldn't do that. Just pay for his part. He can't do it, so someone needs to help him.
Shared ownership means shared responsibility, and so It doesn't really matter what your parents feel like you should do. He owns a fourth of this, so a fourth of it is his responsibility, and if he can't pay it, you guys can be generous for a little while and chip in, but long term, you're going to have to figure out if he should be a part of this or not. And that's going to be the harder conversation. Wishing you the best as you have those conversations. But I like Rachel's plan. Make a document. Make it very clear so that nobody goes, but I thought. That's not what you want. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by Rachel Cruze this hour, taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Hannah is in New York City up next. Hannah, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing great. How can we help?
So basically my question is, my husband and I own a gym here in New York City. And about a year ago, right before I had our baby, we decided to move into the basement of the gym to save money on rent and then kind of make it so that I could be a stay-at-home mom and run the business at the same time. And in that year, because we were able to save so much money, we paid off $70,000 of our business loans. But we still have about $120,000 in debt. And we're trying to decide when to move out because we're not technically supposed to live here and it's not the most comfortable living situation, but we do want to pay off the rest of our debt.
Oh, boy. So when you say technically, do you mean it's not legal?
It is not zoned for it.
Oh, boy. Well, that poses a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, one is the actual legal implications. Another one's just the integrity of the situation on top of the risk that you're putting yourself in, especially with a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, is it even safe to have a baby there?
It is safe. It meets all the requirements of the windows being above ground and the ceilings being high enough, all of that. It's just the zoning.
Got it. Well, the real question is, why can't you guys afford rent and start to knock out this debt?
In New York City, rent is so expensive. We were paying $3,000 a month for an apartment that was basically, a closet.
Yeah.
So
can y'all afford to live there, Hannah? I mean, you're not paying rent right now, but in order to, have the four walls, what we call them, food, shelter, utilities, transportation, in order to survive, you have to be able to afford it. Will you guys be able to?
I think so. We went from last year when we moved here, we were only bringing in gross of $40,000 a month for the gym, and we've improved that by $25,000 a month. So now we're bringing in about $65,000 a month.
Nice. How much of that do you take home?
So last year we were taking home basically nothing, but now we're probably taking about $10,000 to $15,000 a month.
Great. Okay, so let's play this out. Even if you're spending $4,000 a month and you make, 15, that's still reasonable. And of course, everything's just going to be more in New York City, but it's not like you guys are making $5,000 a month and you're paying $4,000 in rent.
Right. Yeah, and we could probably pay the same amount of debt off that we were paying last year.
Yeah, I would make that a goal of let's still attack the debt aggressively and have a place that is that we can legally live in and rent, even if it slows you down.
Yeah, because eventually you're going to have to move. You know what I mean? So I think I would rather be on the proactive end of you all choosing than versus, I don't know, getting fined or something found out. You know what I mean? It's like a forced situation.
Or get sued by the city. I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds like I wouldn't put it past New York City.
I know, right? Yeah. I mean, for real. Yeah, I would be making this move soon, and just to set up a home and set up a place that you guys are going to be for a while. Where did you guys move from?
Just a couple blocks away.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Because when you said we moved here last year, I didn't know what that meant. So, okay.
Yeah, no, we just moved here last year. We actually the inspectors did come and look at it because someone reported us.
Oh, boy. So you already found out.
Like, you're fine. Yeah, but they didn't. They said that we were okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
New York City is just a wild place.
It is a wild place. So that's why we're not too worried about it. But it would be nice to have like more of a real house.
Yeah.
Right.
I would make it a very urgent goal to get out of there and get your own place. Now, what makes up the $120,000 in debt?
What's left now is credit cards is about $40,000, and then I have $80,000 in student loans.
Okay. And are those broken up into smaller debts and multiple credit cards?
Yeah, it is multiple.
So I would just debt snowball this, and you're going to just try to live as frugally as you can, which I know is saying a lot in New York City, paying $4,000 in rent. But anything that isn't your four walls and insurance, we're going to try to chunk at this debt. And that gives me some urgency to also go, hey, how can this business make even more? How do we really continue to scale this thing? Because then if you can keep that up and you're debt free, you guys are going to be living beautifully in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very exciting to think about.
So I think this is a very doable plan as long as that $65K a month is sustainable and it's not going to go down to 40 or 30 in the next few months. Then, spending $4,000 a month on rent, if you need a slightly nicer place, you don't need to go crazy. But I think $4,000 a month will get you something a whole lot better than the $3,000, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The goal is to keep it around 25% of your take-home pay, which I understand a very high cost of living area like New York City. It might be a little over the parameter, but the goal is to not have 50% of your take-home pay going to rent. And you guys are on the path to that. So thank you so much for the call. Steven is in Lynchburg, Virginia up next. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Great. How can Rachel and I help?
All right. Well, I'm 21. I'm a senior in college, and I'm planning on graduating debt-free. And my grandfather passed away in October, and I just turned 21, and I found out that I've inherited about $50,000, and I'd like to know what to do with it. Y'all were recommended by a friend, so...
We came highly recommended, Rachel.
Call a friend, and Steven called us, George.
That's great. So you said you're graduating debt-free. Do you have any other debt? Car loan, credit cards, anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
How much do you have saved right now, aside from the $50K?
Not a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And you say you're graduating in May?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What are you going to do after graduation? Do you know?
That is one thing I'm trying to figure out currently.
Okay. You know what, Steven? You know what I would do? You're probably going to hate my advice, but I would put it in a high-yield savings account, and I wouldn't touch it. And I would just let it sit there, okay? And I would force yourself, not force, that sounds terrible. I would make myself, when I graduate college, to find a job, start living a lifestyle on the salary that I'm making, and create a life for myself. And then when you're somewhere that is settled and that you know, okay, I'm probably going to be here for a bit, then I would probably use part of that 50 grand and other money that you're going to be saving from your first job as an emergency fund, and then possibly a down payment for a home. And
do you know what high yield savings accounts you would recommend?
Oh, yeah. Well, I got the one for you, my friend. We're in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, and they have an awesome smart bundle that they created just for people like you.
Yeah.
And it's got a high-yield savings account with a great rate. Also has a no-fee checking.
Yeah.
And I like that the no-fee checking is connected to high-yield savings. So if you did have an emergency where you needed this money,
you could get it.
You could get it easily.
So, Stephen, my caution to you is $50,000 is going to feel like $5 million when you're 21. That can go so fast. So don't feel like you hit the lotto, okay? Because if that's your mindset, you're going to end up spending it and thinking it's going to last you years and years and years, and it won't.
This is not a post-graduation vacation and a new car.
Yes.
This is future Stephen down payment money.
Yes, future Stephen.
You will be so thankful you did it.
You'll be so thankful. Great job.
How many times have you started January saying, this is the year I'm finally going to get my money under control? But then months go by and you still feel broke. You work too hard to keep living like that. Look, there's only one way to move the needle on your finances this year. You've got to have a plan. So start by downloading Every Dollar. Every Dollar is way more than our world-class budgeting app. In 15 minutes, we'll build you a personalized plan to free up extra margin in your budget and use it to beat debt and build wealth. You'll find thousands of dollars on average just the first day. And you'll get new steps and new lessons every day that help you stay on track and create unstoppable momentum. Don't waste one more day feeling broke and stressed. Get your plan in just 15 minutes by downloading Every Dollar for free today.
Scott is in Sacramento up next. Scott, how can we help today?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you. What's going on today?
Yeah, I have a question regarding when it would be prudent to take on new expenses during the baby step journey. So a little bit of background for me. Starting sometime last year, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Started really looking at my finances a lot closer, and I'm in some debt, and I decided to do everything I can to get out of it. And I started listening to the Ramsey show about 2 months ago or so. I'm picking up a lot of tidbits of knowledge, and I think I'm really enjoying a lot of what you guys are
good for you.
Discussing.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I appreciate it. My question, though, is some of the stuff that I've heard Dave and you all talk about are some certain types of expenses that would be probably good expenses, such as certain types of insurance, long-term disability, identity theft insurance, things like that. My life insurance policy is like 1 times my salary right now, and I'm kind of in the baby step 2 phase right now. I would like to know when during the baby step journey would be a good time to start paying towards these other expenses that I'm not currently paying towards. And another one would be like a will. I heard him talk about how, at age 18, you should be getting a will, or even Financial Peace University, any kind of expenses that I feel like would really help me in my financial journey.
Yep. No, they're great questions. Yeah. So some of these insurances, I would say are probably a requirement that I would do. So some that you would definitely want are renters or homeowners, obviously, and car insurance. But yeah, long-term disability is definitely one I would pay for. I mean, ID theft protection is a great one. Xander Insurance is who we recommend for that. And then for life insurance, are you married, Scott?
That's a complicated question. Yes, but I am actually in the beginning stages of a divorce.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Do y'all have kids?
No kidding.
Okay.
But it is amicable. So
okay. Yeah. So because the life insurance, that's what I was going to say. To have just term life is if someone's dependent upon your income, and so yeah, in this situation, I guess depending on if you have to pay alimony, I don't know what that would look like. But if it all comes out that you guys are not, if there's nothing financial that you're tied to her in any means, because you guys, especially because you don't have kids, you may not need a ton of life insurance. It's really if someone's dependent upon your income. So that would be the one that you could get away with for a little bit, unless again, by court proceedings or something that you have to pay her a certain amount and you know, or something like that. But.
And then do you have health insurance right now through your employer?
Yeah, I have health insurance. I have auto insurance. I have homeowners insurance.
Okay. So it's really life and long-term disability that you were kind of unsure about?
Yeah, identity theft as well.
Yeah. Think about it this way. If the baby steps are kind of offense to build wealth, and then you've got all these insurances in place for defense, because those can derail all of the wealth you're building. When you think about how many people go into bankruptcy for medical costs or a car wreck and you were underinsured and now they're suing you for hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's the kind of stuff that you need to transfer the risk to the insurance company, and it's well worth the cost. The insurances we're talking about here are not expensive.
Yeah, correct.
How old are you?
But is it something? I'm 41.
Okay. What was that?
Is it something I should be looking into getting right now? Even though I've just started getting gazelle intense, as you guys put it. So. Yeah,
the insurances are not a baby step.
I would go ahead and put those
It's a prerequisite to doing the baby steps. Okay. And so I would get a will in place. And if you want help with that, we've got a great partner with Mama Bear Legal Forms. You can create that online, and they're created by attorneys, but you can just fill it out all online. So it's super easy. And these are pieces of the puzzle, especially at 41. I don't know what the rest of your life looks like. Will you get remarried? Maybe. Right?
I hope so.
And so, again, life insurance, you might want to get it now while you're young and healthy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because it's only going to get more expensive. And you can lock in, a 25-year term so that you could get married and have kids and you're covered for until you're, in your 60s. And so there's things that you want to sort of think about future Scott and what he would be thankful to have. And I would just get it all priced out. And you don't need like millions in dollars of life insurance. How much do you make a year?
About 120 right now.
Okay. So you'd be looking at like a, $1.2 million policy, maybe even a little more if you want to go 12 times your income. And you might find that it's pretty affordable. And yes, it slows down your debt a tiny bit because it's going to cost you, I don't know, $80 a month or whatever it ends up being. But the peace of mind that you get knowing that you're covered and knowing you're not going to pay $120 4 years from now when you're older and it's more risky, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah, and stay on the line, Scott, because Kelly will pick up and we'll give you Financial Peace University and a year of Every Dollar, our budgeting app, just as a thank you as a new listener.
There's
we
an insurance lesson in Financial Peace University.
That's right.
That's juicy stuff. Dave really crushes it on the insurance lesson. Rachel made sure he did that.
Cannot wait to binge it. They
asked Rachel, hey, do you want to do this lesson in Financial Peace University?
And I said, it's too good. I'm going to give it to Dave. I'll let Dave do it.
He loves it. He loves the deductible.
We love a deductible.
But you're asking the right questions. I appreciate the call.
We're excited for you. Yeah. Sorry about
not a fun situation.
The divorce stuff, but excited about the money piece.
Well, usually it's when the life changes happen is when you sort of take stock and
That's a great point.
Am I doing all the right things?
That's a great point. People when they have babies, they do the same thing. They look up, like, oh my gosh, what have we been doing?
Yeah, and a good way to make sure you're covered on all the bases for anyone listening is jump on to RamseySolutions.com/checkup. We have an awesome coverage checkup tool with just a few clicks. You'll kind of know where the blind spots are when it comes to insurance, and we'll connect you with the people that we trust for all of that.
Yeah, but in high level, Xander Insurance for ID theft protection and term life insurance is great. Mama Bear Legal Forms for Will. So just some resources for you guys out there that are wanting to get your insurances in place as well.
You want to get a little nerdy and sleep better at night. That's it. All right, let's get out to Julia in Pittsburgh. How can we help, Julia?
Hey, guys. So I just recently got my work bonus. It was about $14,000 after taxes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and I have about $32,000 in debt, and I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to pay down some of it with my bonus. I have about $15,000 in savings for a long-term emergency fund and $1,000 for a short-term. So I don't really feel like I need to use it to amp up my savings. I want to try to tackle the debt. However, half of it is no interest, and some of it is very low interest. So following the debt snowball, I could pay down the lower balances, but they're 0% interest. So I'm trying to figure out, does it make more sense to knock out the ones that have a little bit higher interest and pay it down that way?
Well, the truth is you could be close to debt-free as soon as this bonus hits, because you'll have $30,000 in cash spread out, right? Between the bonus and all this emergency fund?
Yeah.
And so it really won't matter much if you do it the Ramsey way, which is leave the $1,000 emergency fund, but take the bonus plus the full emergency fund. That's going to be $29,000 out of the $32,000, and you can knock out almost all of it. And so at that point, just knock out the lowest balances and free up those payments faster, and then you'll have $3,000 left. And so the interest is really not going to matter.
Okay. My only worry, and I feel like this is probably a worry a lot of people have when they have an emergency fund, is like, it took me a while to get there.
Yeah, but you also have
it.
But you also have
0% interest.
Yeah, but you also have a ton of payments right now. So if you were debt free today, how much money is going out the door in payments?
So payments are $900 a month. I pay.
Okay. So let's say you were gazelle intense, and that's baby step 3 is to bump up your emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of expenses. So what if you threw an extra $1,000 a month at that emergency fund plus what you were paying, your payments? You could, in 10 months, you could be back up to where you are and completely debt free.
Okay.
You just got to be intense about it. Do you know what I mean?
It takes a mental shift to go, oh, I'm actually not safe having this money over here because I owe 32.
The risk
I've got
is still
15.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so getting rid of the risk, you will stock up that money really fast, and I highly doubt you're going to have a $20,000 emergency while you're trying to build this up. So we're rooting for you. Follow the plan. It works. Hey guys, George Kamel here. Do you ever feel like insurance companies only care about your money and not what you actually need? Well, there's a better way. When you go to Ramsey's Insurance Resource Hub, you'll start feeling confident that you're getting the right coverage that's truly best for you. You'll find helpful info on everything from life insurance, health insurance, identity theft protection, and more. And when you're ready to get the coverage you need, you can connect with a Ramsey trusted insurance pro who will only get you what you need at the best price. Go to RamseySolutions.com/insurance, RamseySolutions.com/insurance. Sarah is in New York up next. Sarah, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Good. How can Rachel and I help today?
I'm just a little confused. I have some money like that I don't need right now, and I was thinking of investing it. I just don't know like who to trust and what to do. I'm not very savvy. That's one. And I had another one I had is that I wanted to like buy a car. Do you suggest buying or leasing? I want to.
Okay, so I think you broke up on us a little bit, but you have cash you want to invest, you don't feel super confident, not super savvy on that, and you want to know about buying a car and what the best way to do that is.
Yes, correct.
Okay. How much money do you have right now?
So right now I have about, I had close to $100,000.
Wow.
Nice. Where is it right now?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, right. So I have about like close to 80 just like sitting and want to get like that wasn't a CD, but I'm like, I want to just stop with CD. I want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have about the rest I have in just like my checking account, which I live out of every month, but I make sure every month to leave over some for savings, even though I don't have too much.
For sure. So you kind of have an emergency fund that's there.
I know, yeah. It's not an official emergency fund. I never set up one. I just set up a 401k plan where my company offers 3% match, and I did that.
Nice.
Like I just started it.
Do you have any debt?
I have zero debt. No, I'm still young. I'm learning all this.
You're crushing it. And
Great job.
You said you're looking to buy a car. Do you have one right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, and you need one for transportation to work or what?
No, so that's the thing. I take a bus to work. 'Cause it's not. I work in the city. It's not worth, like Manhattan. It's not worth driving.
Yeah.
But like personally, I think it would be nice to have a car. I don't know if I could afford one. I know I could, but I just don't know if it's worth it.
Let's focus on the definition of afford, because most people go, well, if I can afford the payment, I can afford this car. And the problem is these dealerships.
Long term with insurance.
What's that?
No, I know I could afford one now. But I don't know if I can upkeep one with insurance with an amount of.
Yeah, that's something to think about. And so the key is we're going to pay cash for this car, and we know the long-term maintenance and insurance costs on top of that. And having it in the city is like 10x the cost of having it anywhere else.
Yeah, and a lot of people sell their car when they go to Manhattan. So do you feel like you really do need one, Sarah?
For my freedom, yeah, at night, and like just to get out places, it would be nice to have one.
Okay.
I haven't got one till now because I wasn't sure. I don't know. I just opened the 401k, and I now pay for my own. Like I pay for insurance. I was on Medicaid, but now I was kicked off, so I'm not. Taxes just eats up so much.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, awesome. How much do you make?
I make about $49 a year.
49,000?
Yeah.
And how much are you currently investing into that 401k through your employer?
I'm investing 6% because I get back 3, so I'm investing 6.
Okay, so you're investing 6, they're adding 3 on top of that. So a total of 9%?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's $4,410 is what's happening per year out of your $49,000 income.
Okay.
So the difference between investing in that CD is a CD has a fixed rate, and it will mature, and you will make that, 3.5% or 4%, right?
Yes.
But with investing, you're putting this money into the stock market. And if you do it right, you're going to have a tiny piece of a whole bunch of companies that are doing really well that we're all rooting for. And what we've seen.
How do I know who to trust and where to go? I'm ready to invest close to 80. Like, I don't need it now. I can invest, for the next 5 years.
Sure. So, you have this 80, and that might be for a different purpose. And so right now we're investing, I would recommend investing 15% of your income, regardless of the employer match. So you put in 15, they put in 3 on top of that. That would double your investment rate right now. How cool would that be?
They're giving me 3%, though, only for a 401k plan. That means I can't pull it out, correct?
Correct. You'd have to wait until you're of retirement age. So if you want money outside of that you want to invest, you could use a portion of that cash to do so.
Yeah. So
I'm confused.
Yeah. So what I would do, Sarah, is I would get an emergency fund. So I would open up. I just go to Fairwinds. That's a credit union, one that we recommend, and open up a high yield savings account. Okay, and put some money in, probably 3 months of what your expenses would be for 3 months, and that we can consider that your fully funded emergency fund. So if we were to do that, how much does it take you to live a month? What are your expenses per month?
So it takes me probably a little over $1,000.
Just $1,000?
How is that possible?
Is that rent?
I live on nothing. I know. I live with my parents.
Oh, okay. So for now, we'll say your starter emergency fund is, $5,000 for right now. Okay. So I would just keep that on the side, and that's there just in case something happens. Now, when you move out of your parents and you start paying rent, you're going to bump that up. Okay. As your lifestyle goes up. Then I would look at my retirement, like what George was saying. We want to fund 15% of your income into retirement. So that means 6% already is going into this 401k. That means you have 9% left of what you can invest with your income. And so what I would do is open up a Roth IRA, and you can put up to $7,500. Is that right? Is that $7,500 this year?
Yes, $7,500 for the year.
Per year is the limit. And so I would do and figure out, okay, how much of that 9% of my income needs to go into that Roth IRA. So that's retirement. Okay. So when you do that, oh my gosh, I bet you could run numbers. Yeah. George, did you run some numbers?
What I was calculating here, Sarah, and you can do this at home, and we'll put it up on the screen here for anyone watching. I'm using our investment calculator, and I'm going, okay, Sarah's 23. She makes $49,000 a year, and if she invests 15% plus you have a 3% match, that's $8,820 a year. Are you tracking?
Yes.
So monthly, that's $735 a month is going into that 401k, into what we call mutual funds. And that has a collection of hundreds of companies, and you own a little piece of those. And what we've seen is about a 10% to 12% rate of return over the last several decades versus that 3 or 4% you're getting in the CD. You tracking?
Yes, but I never put that into the CD. Mean to say is, I put the 80,000 into the CD.
Got it.
That's where I got the 80. I put less than 80.
But as far as the return, like you said, you're like, I want to do more with it, and that's what investing will do for you. It's going to have compound growth. So if you have $1,000 in there,
how do I know who to trust?
So number one, you have funds within your 401k, and there's going to be some great funds in there, as well as investing outside of retirement, which is where you can reach out to a financial advisor. And you can jump on to RamseySolutions.com and click on SmartVestor, and you can reach out to someone called a SmartVestor Pro. These are financial advisors that will teach you and help you understand what you're investing into before you make any decisions. So it's not, hey, here's my money, take it, invest it. You want someone who's going to help you understand this. And what they'll do is invest you into very similar funds.
I spoke to 3 people. I'm like, I'm not sure who to trust. I'm like, I don't know.
You're right to be skeptical because there's a lot of bad actors out there who are really just insurance salesmen in sheep's clothing, wolf's clothing, and they're going, hey, I got you. How about this whole life policy? And they make it real complicated. You want this to be as simple as possible. And so what you'll end up having is a retirement account, your 401k, maybe this IRA, which again is not connected to your employer, but another great place to invest with compound growth. And then outside of that, you've got it's called a taxable brokerage account. And this is a non-retirement account where you'll be able to access that money before you're of retirement age. And so think about it like buckets. You want to have a few different buckets for flexibility and options. But can I give you the numbers here before we run out of time?
Yes.
If you keep this up, you remain debt-free, and you never get a raise, which we all agree Sarah will get a raise. She's going to make more than $49,000 in her career, right? But even if you didn't, from 23 to 63, if you invest $735 and we assume a 10% rate of return over those 40 years, if we smooth it all out, you would have $4.6 million sitting in that 401k.
At 63.
Whoa.
Here's the crazy part. You didn't contribute $4.6 million. You contributed $352,000 of that $4.6 million. $4.3 million, Sarah, was just compound growth doing the heavy lifting over a long period of time. So you want to start now.
Yep. So go and find a SmartVestor Pro in your area. Interview 2 or 3 of them. Get a feel for them. See if you like them. But these are people that we have vetted and that we trust.
And if you guys want to check out that investment calculator, I will drop a link in the show notes or description of this episode. So go click there, play with the numbers for yourself, and see just how many millions you could have to build wealth and leave a legacy.
If you've been working the plan, paying off debt, saving, and changing your family tree, I'm proud of you. And if you're in baby step 4 or beyond, it's time to celebrate. The Live Like No One Else cruise is back March 14 through 21, 2027. Join the Ramsey personalities and me as we sail to Half Moon Cay, Cozumel, Jamaica, and Grand Cayman on the ultimate debt-free vacation. Cabins will sell out just like last time. Lock in yours with a $600 deposit at RamseySolutions.com/events.
Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 28:19. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits will have plenty of poverty. Justin Timberlake once said, if you put out 150%, then you can always expect 100% back. That's what I was always told as a kid, and it's worked for me so far. Interesting math. So you got to put 150 in to get 100 back out.
Put that in your investment calculator.
Yeah, not a great investment if I popped it into a calculator.
I don't know if I would do that investment, Justin. I don't know.
Okay, but I guess he's saying you really got to overdo it to succeed. You got to go over-index on how much you try.
Yeah, I guess so. But
yeah. So if I put 50% in, I get 0 out, apparently, based on this math.
That's right. Yep, you got to go above and beyond.
Got to go all in, baby.
Above and beyond.
Thanks, JT. All right, Rachel joins us in Utah up next. Rachel, meet Rachel.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. I just have a quick question. So my husband and I just read The Total Money Makeover last week. We binged it, and we're so excited. We're all fired up about getting started, but we just want to make sure that we make the right first steps, because we just got a tax return about $8,000, and we have about $4,500 of credit card debt. But we also want to sell our cars to downsize so we don't have car payments. And we don't think we're going to be able to sell my husband's truck for more than what we owe on it. So we're wondering if we should use the cash that we have from our tax return to help pay off what we owe on the truck after we sell it, or if we should use the cash to pay off the credit cards and then sell the truck later on.
Oh, great question. Okay, how much do you guys owe on the truck?
About $14,000.
$14,000. And what's it worth now if you were to sell it to an individual?
I don't know, but my husband's thinking it's going to be less because it doesn't have, it's been in a wreck, and so it doesn't have a clean title. So I don't think that we're going to be able to sell it for.
But you don't know 100% though, right? So I would look at Kelley Blue Book and put in all that information, because you'll have history with the vehicle. You'll input all that data, and I would be curious what Kelley Blue Book says. You might be right. Yeah, you might be some underwater. Or you never know, depending on when he bought it, sometimes you could sell it for $15,000 and you're actually $1,000 ahead. I mean, we're not sure yet.
What's your household income?
About $80,000.
Okay, because the other option is just keeping the truck and just paying it off aggressively.
Right. Yeah, it's hard because we're just not sure if we should do the credit card debt first or the truck loan, because I feel like with this cash we could for sure pay it off. After we sell it, we could make up for what we owe still. But if we don't do that and we use the cash to pay off credit cards, I feel like we will have that truck payment for a lot longer in order to save up.
Well, if you knock out all the credit cards, that still leaves you with what, $3,500 to throw at the car loan?
Yeah, that's true.
Then you're down to $10,000.
Yeah, and how much is going to credit card payments every month? How much are you guys paying?
We have been able to pay off our credit cards without the total statement balance, without paying any interest up until this point. But that's the $8,000 is basically all the cash that we have. So
yes. Well, I was just thinking, if you paid off the credit card debt, that does free up some more money per month. That's not going to pay minimum payments on credit cards. That's cash back to you guys.
But you're saying you've never had credit card payments? You've just paid it in full each month until now?
Paid off the statement. Yeah, we've never,
But now there's a balance that you're carrying.
Now there's a balance. It's not due till the middle of next month. So we'd have a couple more paychecks before then, but it would we might not be able to make it. I'm not sure.
Okay. I wouldn't just knock out the credit card debt, just debt snowball everything. Okay. So you'll knock out all the credit cards, you'll knock out a chunk of the car loan, you'll have $10K left on that. You're making $80K. So now it's how much of that $80K or take home pay can we throw at this car, at this truck? And my guess is if you can throw, $2,000 a month, you're done in 5 months.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So $3,000 a month, you're done in a little over 3 months.
We'll use that cash to do the credit cards.
Yeah. Is that all your debt, you guys? Is just the credit cards in the truck?
And my car, but we'll be able to sell my car for more than what we owe on it.
Okay.
And still have enough to get something different? Because you're going to need something to get around, right?
We actually have another car.
Oh my goodness!
Oh well, perfect, perfect. That's great.
It's like a Russian doll. Underneath that is another car. Okay,
right.
That's good news. So you can sell it and be just fine and be completely debt free.
Yeah,
and
great
then
job,
just
Rachel.
keep that intensity up and build the emergency fund, and then you'll never have to go into debt again. You've got sort of a debt insurance plan at that point.
Yeah, we were kind of shocked when we read the book because we're like, oh my gosh, we could be debt free in a few months.
Yes, that's awesome. Well done, you guys.
I'm proud
exciting.
Of you. That's the hardest part is just realizing we don't want to live like this anymore and we don't need to. Most people just assume, well, you got to have a car payment. What are you going to do? You can't save up and pay cash for a car. That's crazy. So you guys are doing it the right way. We're happy that the Total Money Makeover helped you guys out. It's a great book for anybody out there who's like, what is this Ramsey stuff? I just want to get on the plan and get fired up. It is the book. You can go check it out, RamseySolutions.com. Doug is in Sacramento. Doug, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, so just my question is real brief. I feel like my wife and I are doing well. We both have good jobs, but I feel like we're not doing more with our money because we don't know what to do. We have an emergency fund that's $15K. We have like $165 in a high yield savings.
What's that for?
But it's that's the thing is like my wife is this. She wants to save all her money. She's like worried about not having any, and she wants to save. But I feel like we should be doing something with that.
Okay. Are you guys renting or do you own a home?
We own a home.
What's left on the mortgage?
$340.
Okay, so that's one thing we could do with the money.
And it's at 3.4%.
Okay, and you guys have no debt?
I have.
Outside of the mortgage?
I have a truck payment. We owe it's $460 a month, and we owe $20 on it.
That's another thing you could do with that money. I'm finding all kinds of things to spend that money on.
We could do a lot of stuff, Doug.
We have a couple grand on credit cards, but we always pay them off. We never pay interest on it.
Okay, you're not carrying a balance, you're saying?
No, never.
Okay. Well, I would, if I'm in your shoes, you're saying, what do we do next? I would get rid of any and all debt in my life and then start to tackle the house and also be investing 15% after that. So are you guys investing a certain percentage right now of your household income?
I don't think a percentage. So we both have Robinhood accounts that a friend from work turned me onto, and I think I have 10 grand on mine, and she has 5 or 6 grand on hers.
Do you guys not have a retirement plan through your employers?
She has a 401k that's got 360 in it, and I have a deferred comp that's got 78 in it.
Okay. I would focus on those tax-advantaged accounts long before I ever opened up the Robinhood app. I hate that thing with a burning passion. It's basically the lottery for finance pros.
I know nothing about investing, so that's the only thing that I knew how to do. A friend showed me how to do it. So
I would say investing in your retirement plan is easier than navigating Robinhood because they always got something new they're trying to throw at you and get into. So I would put away 15% of your household income, which is how much? What's the total between the two of you, gross household income?
$270.
That's a fantastic income. I think you guys should be doing a whole lot better. That means you should be investing $40,000 across retirement plans. And I would start with anything that has a match on it, then move to any Roth type accounts or Roth 401k or whatever you have available, and then move back to traditional accounts. And if you still haven't hit that 15% mark and you maxed everything out, then you can go to things outside of retirement, like a taxable brokerage account. But I would stick to mutual funds. I would never play with individual stocks. I wouldn't touch crypto. You guys can build some serious wealth if you just start to attack these things in order with some focus.
Yeah, so getting out of that consumer debt, getting a 401k in place and a Roth IRA, and you guys funding 15% of your incomes into those, is a great place to start. And then start attacking the house. You guys have some movement you can be making for sure with this money.
The baby steps will tell you everything you need to know, my friend. All right, that puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.